Hello everyone, welcome back to another Hearts of Iron 4 Disaster Save. And this one's a little bit special in two, maybe even three ways.
Santa has something very special in his sack for you two.
First of all, whoopsie daisy. First of all, it is the first one for Czechoslovakia with the new DLC, so that's pretty neat. Secondly, well, it doesn't look like a disaster from this angle. Just don't look over there. It doesn't look like it. And thirdly, this one was sent in by one of the developers. Yes, this was sent in by the one and only Mordred Viking. I believe he is a content designer on the HOI4 team. So let's see what the boys who cook this game up have made for us today. I'm already concerned. I don't like what I'm seeing. Couple of things. First of all, the political side of things. We'll go through them one at a time. Benesh, you're locked with him. He's not terrible. Might as well keep him. Secondly, Karel here is a bit of an odd choice. Landfort construction speed. What's the point of this guy if the entire mechanic of Czechoslovakia is getting basically free forts? Through the fortification focus, you basically get free forts all over the place. Almost full max level forts almost everywhere. Why get this guy instead of somebody who's actually useful like the economist? Why? What's the point? What's the bloody point? Your forts are free. You're not building them. You're not physically building them. This does not add much. Secondly, this man is not terrible, but you want to pick him early and then transition him out for somebody who either gives you more production bonuses or military construction bonuses or whatever other bonuses might be useful. But at this point of the game, you're not really wanting to boost construction speed on like railways, civs, or infrastructure. We're past that point. So the refinery stuff is good. However, we have a connection here to the mighty Soviet Union who will give us all the oil in the world. Germany will not invade the Soviets as long as we are around. So that's not going anywhere. In terms of rubber, we can trade through the Soviets all the way to the countries over there. So that we don't need refineries. Speaking of, we also don't need Apollo. This does very little for us. Very little for us. There are other things that are more valuable, like the steel we get from the ironworks, or the coal we get from Škoda, plus their words difficult. The bonuses from these other companies are more valuable, I'd say. Military. So you've gone with the defense guy. This is just genuinely worse than getting the army offense guy. Army attack, like division attack, is always better than division defense. Just get the attack guy. There's a lot of things to explain, but the simplest way is the higher your attack, the faster you can make the other guy stop attacking you, while the higher your defense, the less the other guy can hurt you. If you could stop him faster, he also hurts you less. I'd pick him. Hey everyone, sorry for the bitter steel jump scare here. Just want to let you guys know I'm starting a project. Now you guys may know that I'm a bit of a fiend for tabletop wargaming and plastics. You can tell maybe from the table or the cupboard behind me. I do enjoy this quite a bit, and I want to spread that love with the world, and to do that I have started supplydrop.be. I will be selling bolt action and conflict 47 minis, box sets, the whole shebang throughout the EU. I am somewhat limited. I cannot afford to ship to America. I'm sorry, and the rest of the world, holy shit, is shipping expensive. But the EU, I have you covered there, gentlemen. For those of you who know, it needs no more introduction. For those of you who do not, this is World War II tabletop gaming, with Conflict 47 basically being a very weird version of what if World War II went on and everything went crazy. Long story short, check out supplydrop.be if you're interested in miniature wargaming. You want to maybe build, paint one of these plastic miniatures. I've got everything from the big starter boxes. I've got infantry boxes. And I've got tanks for those enjoyers among you as well. Now this is me. This is just me. There's no third party. Well, Warlord Games who makes these, but I am the one taking your order. I'm the one filling your boxes. I'm the one shipping these out. So do me a solid, check it out if this is something you are at all interested in. If you're not, hey, fine by me. You do what you want to do. I'm going to try what I want to do. Now get back to the video. Thank you for your support either way. Supplydrop.be down there in the description. Have a good one. Air is fine. No Navy makes sense. because, you know, artillery guys, like, maybe. Probably could have been better off with the tank guy if you're going with the armor in your divisions anyway. So I was like, Infantry genius is great. Yeah, he's worth his points. I'd hold on to him, obviously. And then lastly, I would fill this slot with the division recovery rate so you can cycle units faster. Or, considering what we're going to be up against, the enemy air support reduction. This is also pretty good because we are going to get destroyed in the air. We are absolutely... Right now it's probably fine, but once Germany finishes this, we are going to have all of this thrown at us and the entire German Air Force. We are going to get Schmeckeldorfed. Focuses, yeah, this is like historical stuff, I guess, mostly fine. What we don't need is a spy agency now. We can get one later, but it's not a priority. What I need is this, reassure the army. Reduces the enemy's cast bonuses, and like the other stuff's nice enough, but the cast reduction is massive for 35 days. We're going to get cast into oblivion. We need that. This focus is giving you more entrenchment. The other focus would have given you more division attack on core territory. Again, the same entrenchment suffers from the same problem as defense. As like entrenchment's really powerful. Let's look at this. This division has almost 10% entrenchment. It makes the attack and defense better by the numbers on screen. You can read, right? You think, wow, that's great, and it is. It is really powerful. But entrenchment has two very distinct weaknesses. The first one is right over here. Let me select the unit. This is right over here. You see those red numbers? Yeah. The enemy's intel network will reduce your entrenchment by numbers. And, you know, if you have enough modifiers, you'll still have some entrenchment, but nowhere near what you're expecting and planning your entire strategy around. And this only gets worse as the number of enemies you have gets bigger. Notably, if you're playing as an Axis country, you're gonna feel the worst of that because all of the allied armies, all of the allies, all of those tiny shit countries have spies. And then, of course, the Soviet spies. And they're all going to be focused on you. Meaning you will effectively, for the most part of like late game, have zero entrenchment, making this whole thing redundant. On the other hand, if you had just stacked attack, they can't take that away from you. Second problem is, the moment they move, this gets set to 0. And they have to build it back up over time. Also, this is... Now you can see how powerful spies is. See, the spy network over here is reducing it down to a 6.6% entrenchment bonus. 6.6%. It's not a lot. If we go to this unit here where there is no spy network active, same division, same national bonuses, it will be a 35.5% bonus. 2 spies, of which one is not even at the maximum number, have already stripped away almost all of your defensive bonuses from entrenchment. This is why entrenchment is a fucking trap. Static warfare is a trap. It's a trap. It's just not worth it. Get logistical focus. If you're playing ground battle plan, just get logistical focus. Supply consumption, always good. All the other stuff is gravy. Legacy of the Legion's fine, but if you're being a democratic nation, Relief of Command is flat out better. Sorry, it just is. And then, Tenacious Defense. You know my views on defense versus offense, just get bold attack. The doctrines chosen here, Field Engineering, good. Defensive posture, again, you're leaning into that entrenchment, and we just saw how fucked entrenchment gets. Like, you're not gonna get the benefit you think you are. You're really not. Get something that's always good, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. I'm not saying Mortar doesn't know what he's doing, but okay. Just get assault infantry. That one always works. Armor, we don't have anything yet. And then mission type tactics for operations. Mission type tactics, not bad. It's decent. I prefer ground assault because it's slightly better, but it's definitely, like, mission type tactics is definitely serviceable. And then lastly, for the military, he's leaning into Space Marines. Space Marines work really well if you do them right. First of all, doing them with light armor is not doing them right. These stop working. Like, it's 41, these are all redundant. These are just all redundant. Medium armor sorta works, but only sorta. Because your armor is really not that high. If you're doing this, get heavy tanks. And don't use heavy tanks. Use heavy tank destroyers. You need fewer heavy tank destroyers per heavy tank destroyer battalion. Then you need heavy tanks per tank battalion. Long story short, Space Marines work best if used with heavy tank destroyers or heavy self-propelled guns. Lastly, line artillery, not good. And then anti-air, very good, but we want to put the anti-air over there because it will have the same impact on the battle, but just at a much reduced cost. As for the overall situation, we're in the Allies. I mean, it's the default win condition. We just have to survive. And I guess if we capitulate, we can still play the game. But Allies is like a default win condition in the current state of the game. Germans are never going to attack the Soviets as long as they have an enemy in Europe. So as long as we're alive, they're not going to fight the Soviets. So no relief coming that way. So construction. Railways. Really? Yeah, that's fine. Because if I look at my supply, we don't really need to upgrade these railways. It's fine. The supply hubs are covering everything. Unless we lose specific tiles, this is probably going to be just fine. Synthetics we don't need. We can get rubber and oil from the Soviets and Southeast Asia. What we need now is a whole metric fuck ton of military factories. In terms of production, oh boy. It's 1941! Why are we making interwar small air... This is like what you start with! We're just I'm gonna delete all these airplanes. And I'm gonna keep the fighter wings. And I'm not gonna put them up. I'm just gonna pilot exercise them to get air wings that are veteran-ish. And then later on make some good airplanes once we research them. Those airplanes in 1941 are worthless. Right, improved mediums are being made. I don't know what part of these are improved because I don't like any of this. So you're armor stacking, which makes sense, but then you decided not to grab sloped armor. Right, if you're gonna armor stack. Like, get welded armor and get like the sloped armor. Yeah, it's way more expensive, but like in theory you need far fewer of these so you can afford to have them be individually more expensive. We're not even making trains. We're gonna need trains, because we're gonna get our trains blown up. Research. Guns, okay. Assembly line, okay. Railway guns, not my cup of tea, but we'll wait 5 days. Fuel refining, why? I don't need to refine fuel, it's fine. We're pretty much caught up on all this stuff, though I could go with excavation techs. This is fine. Infantry's fine-ish, though I could get some of these out of time. So let's grab this first. All right, so that's a lot of stuff done. Special projects, flamethrowers, pretty good. So the AI is redeploying its troops and it's leaving gaps in the line as it does it. I'm tempted to try something cheesy. Very cheesy. I am going to take this division and drive it to Leipzig. Dresden is 5 points. If I can take Chemnitz and Leipzig, you attack there. The idea being, if I can just real quickly, like control the state of Saxony, I can drain all of the manpower I can extract from it, queue it up in here, and then fall back to my original positions, essentially going shopping for conscripts in Germany, just to get me a little bit of manpower, because I know I'm gonna need it. There goes Paris, and with that, I can expect the German military here in 3 to 5 business days. Alright, there we go. I have quickly seized Dresden, giving me a little bit of manpower from the state. Let's just queue up all of our manpower in there. Fall back to original positions. Alright, we have reassured the army. The CAS reduction should help. The other stuff, maybe. Yeah, the Air Force is here now. I'm not fighting all that. It looks like, oh, there's only 200 fighters there. Yes, but they're way better fighters than what we have. And the moment I put my Air Force up, we're gonna get sworn by the AI's massive Air Force, so there's no point now. Now, I am working towards getting better airplanes. Once I can get, like, the good designs up there, I can trade relatively favorably fighting defensively. So we can get there eventually, but not yet. My entrenchment's already worthless because I'm constantly having to cycle units in and out of combat, meaning no entrenchment. Like, no entrenchment in all of these critical battles. All the other guys, they have entrenchment, that's cool, but they're not being attacked. So I'm slowly going to transition into getting more infantry on the line. And I say more infantry, I don't want this infantry, I want my block of infantry, and this ain't it. But I need more army experience to make all those changes. I've also, for that reason, gone relief of command so I can get more army experience more quickly. More. I'm grabbing this for our mastery upgrades, plus the division speed to make the cycling a little more effective. Actually, I need manpower more than anything. If I'm going to deploy troops, I'm going to need manpower more than anything. I think the most amount of manpower I can get quickly is going to be to leverage Sokol. Stalin, I'm going to improve relations with you as well. There we go. Just, you know, he's going to be a good source of guns and other equipment. A really good source of guns and other equipment. Since he's my source of guns, I can put factories on other equipment. Yes. And these battles are just constantly going to be red. It's just what it's going to be. They're going to be concentrating their attacks on a few key areas, like here, because they can open up a lot of combat with on this tile, because it can be attacked from multiple angles. Same for this tile, it can be attacked from multiple angles. And those are going to be the areas we're in trouble. If they've built up enough of their spy network as well, they're going to reduce our entrenchment even more than they already have in multiple places. So it's down to 1.6% here. You know what I said at the start? You know, how entrenchment's a trap? Yeah, we're going to have like 0 fucking entrenchment by the end of this. There's now 3 spy networks being built here, and they're not even all done. And our entrenchment is effectively 0. So, good news? Well, that's not the good news. The good news is Japan has done the thing. I could join that war. Don't see why I would. There's really no point. But the real good news is that this has brought in the US of A. I would like them to come and help me here to face off the Italians, more importantly the Germans. Hopefully they will send some troops to Europe. Then again, they can't really reach me, but the Allies have begun fighting over Greece. So, you know, maybe they'll reach me eventually. Anything to distract the Germans. Now, so far, I have to give it to Mordred. His troops are holding. I'm doing a whole lot of cycling, and we've got no air, but his troops are holding. I'm supplementing them with infantry, so I've updated the infantry template. I'm just trying to squeeze out more of them. Manpower is a bit of an issue, so that's my next big expenditure, is figuring out where I can find more troops. With probably service by requirement is going to be the easiest call, unless I can replace this guy with somebody who gives me more men. I need more men. That's ridiculously low. We're inflicting casualties, alright. Not quite 10 to 1, but 5 to 1? Alright, Mordred, I revised down I up my opinion of your strategy. Though I would say you should have gone for heavy tanks. Heavy tanks would have made this even better. And definitely way more sustainable. Oh, Belgium's in. Hello. Let's go get the division defense on core territory then. I'll be real with you guys. I don't think Luxembourg and Belgium are gonna make it. You know what else is Stalin good for than giving you a lot of equipment? So I've created a big fake deficit. I'm gonna, like, how I do that is just queue up a bunch of divisions I have no intention of ever deploying. Stalin signs over 29,000 guns, some support equipment, huzzah! And I now cancel these units. I'm losing a lot of medium tanks in this, so I'm trying to crank up production of mediums in exchange for fewer and fewer factories on infantry equipment, because infantry equipment, I can very reliably beg out of the Allies and the Soviets. Tanks, not so much. I've also switched the tanks around so that in future, if I am ever able to, I can pivot this into an actual armor division. So this is much more expensive, yes, that they are more expensive, but they're better. So we should be able to get these guys, along with some motorized, into an actual tank division. I've also found out the Germans, for some reason, are not committing their air force. Like, they got 1,000 fighters in Eastern Germany. Oh, 400 now. They got 1,500s in the Northern Balkans, so they're casting the shit out of that area, but they're not really attacking. And then there's just Czechoslovakia itself, and there's no air up. So I've got the 300 terrible fighters up, fighting for our lives, at least reducing the enemy's damage somewhat. We have the skies, we have air superiority. I appear to have run, or almost run, out of Czechs, Slovaks, Hungarians, and Poles, even some Germans, to send to the front. Either way, to get political power up, which, you know, I could, or we go for, like, the merging of the paramilitary groups. 5% recruitable pop here, well, factor, and then another 10% here. Unless I'm reading that wrong, it might be a 10 in total if I do both. Either way, it should tide me over until I have enough political power to go up a conscription law, because I do think I'm gonna have to go up a conscription law. Unless I go with wielding the hammer, which makes conscription laws cheaper, and I should be able to just immediately take the conscription law after I finish with this one. Because the other stuff here, like training time's not that big of a deal. Militia defense is irrelevant. I am not going to run militia. And I'll wield the hammer. Don't know if it was worth it, but I have invested in catching up on air tech. So I'll slam the best engine in there. Top Pro is all heavy machine guns. I'm going to use the range designer, giving me 20% now. It's only size 3 and only gets better from here. Then obviously armor plating, self-sealing fuel tanks, and depending on how well upgraded the range designer is, I would either add another armor plate, but at this time that's a little too little range. This would essentially just negate the benefit I get now. So you can see I get 130 kilometers from my designer, and then I lose 130 kilometers because of my double armor plates. If I can get the range designer just like a couple of levels higher, I could run this build. It has solid air attack. It's good as any other plane, but it has much higher air defense and still sufficient range to cover most air zones, meaning it will trade incredibly well in the sky. Problem is, I need to get this upgraded. Until then, I'm going to run with extra fuel tanks. Give me very, very solid range. More than I need, actually. The reason I'm taking extra fuel tanks instead of drop tanks is, well, the weight. You can see it doesn't fit otherwise. So I'll put these into production. I hate that it never picks the correct icon for these. I'll just pick this one. And we'll start rolling these out. But yeah, line is holding. I have to give it to Mordred. He gave me the basic tools to win this with. It's just that he needed some tweaking. Mostly like the template designs had to get a little bit more robust in terms of the organization. A little more efficient. All right, let's go up to a service by requirement. I hate it. I hate it. I hate going to service by requirement, but there are no more men. So at this point, I'm gonna swap out of static warfare. It's been nice, boys, but like, take a look at these divisions. I can't even find the bar. Where's the bar supposed to be? Like, some of them still have some entrenchment, the ones that are not currently in an area with a spy network, but look at how many of these just don't have entrenchment. None. No entrenchment. Like, for the majority of my army, there is just no entrenchment possible. In some places, yeah, it's still there, and where it is great. But so many places just don't have entrenchment anymore. I'd rather have a different combat buff, I think. I could grab doctrines. I could start working on some mountaineers and start pooling together like a mountaineer brigade, a small task force with which to attack outwards. Start using the Soviet border to create small encirclements of German forces. I could do that. All right, I'm giving too much of my economy away, just getting resources. I'm gonna move to limited exports. Let's see what that does for my economy. I don't even know if this is a net gain, to be honest. Oh, this might actually be a net loss. Ooh. Oh no, that's one less factory now. Oh, that's another. Oh no. I may have played myself here. We'll see with the steel. So no steel imports now. It's pretty much a wash, I guess. And this is gonna go up and down and up and down. Okay, I may have accidentally played myself here. I am holding much better though. I got another army of infantry squeezed out, so that is more organization onto the line. And they're not really able to threaten me anywhere. Every now and then a bubble turns red and I have to manually intervene and do the cycling. But for the most part, I'm begging the Soviets for guns, funneling most of my industry into replenishing our medium tanks. We're making some fighters and cast. I'm making enough equipment for it to be sustainable. And I'm getting enough guns from the Soviets and the Turks. I can let this run at 4 speed now and just barely touch anything and we're good. Going well. Going well. Mordred, I apologize for insulting your divisions. They're not as terrible as I thought they were, but your entrenchment stacking just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Also, I don't know why, but Germany's not putting air up. They could eat my ass alive, but they will not. They have 1,000 here, a 1,200 there, a 400 there. Got 200 over there. They got another 700 over there, and nothing over Czechoslovakia. Why? I have no idea, but I love it. Well, they've decided to put their air up. We're not trading favorably at all because the majority of our planes are quite literal garbage. So let's ground them until they go away and then we'll come back. Also, the US are justifying against the French. That means Operation Torch is gonna happen. Hopefully, relief is on its way. At least I am bleeding, truly bleeding the Germans here. 2.3 million Czechoslovaks. Sorry, 2.3 million Germans dealt with already. Hey ho, looks like a British D-Day. Oh my god, they got a lot of stuff here. If nothing else, it's a great distraction. So I'm gonna lean into that. We'll see how well that goes. I'm holding easily enough. It's just I can't really push until I've got things sorted out. The infantry, even the ones with armor in it, they're just getting pierced now. Everything, well, almost everything, just pierces the unit. And they usually like 80% damage, but in other times they just pierce all of the divisions. So they've run their course as Space Marines. If you want to run Space Marines, heavy tanks with a lot of armor is the answer, not mediums. Speaking of distracting them, I don't know why, but they have literally just up and left. They have literally just left, so I'm gonna see if I can like squeeze out a little north. Would put Poland back on the map. You know, any kind of help is welcome at this point. Let's see if we can apply some pressure here. Work our way up to that river line so we don't overly expose us or expose ourselves overly much. A nice Polish Republic. I'm brotherly like that. I'm a good guy. Yeah. Poland's gonna love me for this. Absolutely. There you go, Poland. You're back in business. Alright, naval invasion's not going particularly well because I think all of these guys are gonna die. This seems to have gained some ground, so maybe I can keep moving? I could snake my way like along here and then to Danzig, but I risk overextension. I need more troops out into the field. What else was I gonna do? I was gonna make this into a bigger tank division as well, like 26, 30 width. It's not the best, is it? We'll leave it at this. This is serviceable. And then we'll add stuff like assault engineers, anti-air, that kind of stuff. Not armored engineers, assault engineers. We'll see if I can get it to work. And we'll convert everything to that new infantry template. Like I said, the armor is, for the most part, redundant. I'll find the elite units in this pile of units. Some of them better than others. Let's take 4. Take 4 divisions out. Everything else I'm going to convert into the new infantry template. That should give me about 2,000 tanks serviceable. I will convert these guys into the new armor divisions, which gives me... Yeah, it just needs to update, but I'll have the tanks for it. And I'll move them somewhere to wield them. Probably around Warsaw. See if I can get like cutting towards that area. I got Königsberg. That will do. And of course we're going to head to Memel as well. Mop that up. And I believe the Allied distraction is going to be over very soon because they just don't know how to do anything right. And of course there's someone in Memel. And now there's 4 someones in Memel. Fuck! This could have been so brilliant if the Allies could just hold on to their beachheads. Well, that northern bit was easy enough to clean up. I got Memel. I might get naval invaders, so I probably need to keep an eye on that. Let's disallow access because I can't really use anything. I don't have any convoys. Now that should sort out my logistics. I have managed to get one of these divisions here encircled. Oh, two Croatian divisions here encircled. I'm going to use the armor to cut off that bulge here if we can manage. Rest of the line is holding. Fuel is dropping. Fortunately, I have a willing seller next door, so that should be fine. Next stop, Berlin. Boy, I sure hope the Allies are gonna get out of North Africa at some point, because they sure seem to prefer stacking up over there instead of doing anything in Europe. Yeah, Greece is gone again. It's like, what, 4 or 5 times I see them like reconquer all the way up here, and then just lose everything. Meanwhile, we're getting into a little spot of trouble here. The line is potentially, I've done some last stands, but the line is somewhat overextended at present. We just got too many divisions, or rather too many tiles to cover and not enough divisions to cover the tiles with, turning into a bit of a pickle. I'm gonna start shortening it on this end and then just extending the extra units here to just, it doesn't matter, I'm just trying to fix that by just getting more divisions out. We're gonna lose basically anything north of Warsaw. I cannot guarantee we can maintain control of. This beachhead's just getting annihilated. Oh my god, the Americans funnel troops in as well, but they can't even expand from that port. They've lost Cherbourg and they're being slowly condensed. This little strip is all that's there. I'm going for a slightly smaller encirclement first here. That's 4 divisions plus another 4. That will be 8 if I can complete it. There we go. Quickly kill those off if we can. Alright, we've killed the Germans in there. So you are last standing and you were still forced out. Impressive, 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 impressive. In any case, that is encirclement. We'll quickly move the infantry in to destroy that. It should help us shorten the line. That's a pretty solid encirclement. I'll take it, considering the resources we're working with. That's 6, 8, 10 divisions. 11 divisions. Huzzah! And we'll significantly shorten the line. Go back. Sorry, Poland. I'm very, very sorry. I cannot keep you alive there. I can keep you alive here, but not up there. Right, armor in, and we'll clean this up. I guess with that, we're back to the drawing board. I could hit the Hungarians pretty hard, but that would just get me undefensible land. Yeah, back to the river up there, and then we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I've got Krakow for Poland, so they got a little bit of an industry again. The United Kingdom is justifying against us. Now I'm curious. Secure Iraq? But we already have an Iraq, dumbass. Well, I just saw a way to get to roughly 8 divisions in Katowice. Let's quickly grab them. Oh no, so close, so close, so close. All right, just up there. And you pin down there. Should be able to secure, like I said, roughly 8 divisions in Katowice. And maneuver our way in to get a couple more encircled if we can make it happen. Just gotta maintain control of the rest of the front. There we go, that's 8 divisions in south of Katowice encircled. Destroy them and I have a jolly good time. This is a British division? Oh no, it's just a Pole. It's just Polish. Alright, we've destroyed quite a few divisions here. Yeah, northern Poland's lost again, but that's okay. I might be a massive idiot for trying this, but it does seem like there is a bit of a gap. Over here, could I eagerly rush north to Gdynia and Gdansk and create another encirclement? Would that be asking for too much? All in all, this has actually been quite a profitable little maneuver. There's a couple more divisions destroyed. Line is a lot more solid now that the Germans come. I'm not going to make that push north. That's... that would be brilliant, but it feels... suicidal if I move that way. It feels just suicidal. Fuck it, I'm making that play. I'm moving north. I'm gonna see what I can do. The things we do for our Polish brothers. Oh fuck, Danzig is garrisoned. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's so bad. You know what, I'm tempted. Just force attack, see if we can get through. See if we can get through. What's the worst that could happen, right? What's the worst that could happen? Well, they could kill us all. That's what could happen. I got Danzig isolated, so we should be able to punch through. Oh, yeah, we've lost an area. We've lost this place, so knowing that, best we peel back and not try to counterattack. Yeah, the Hungarian border, Germans are taking my ass to Pound Town there. But up north, we're done. Well, done-ish. That is the most, that is most of Poland liberated if we don't count, you know, the Soviet parts. Alright, another encirclement. I'll take it. It's fine. Alright, this might be helpful. The war goals, not so much, but the destroy fascist threats gives me like 5% and attack and breakthrough against major countries for a year. I intend to use that year well. Oh, fuck, that's another breakthrough. Yeah, this territory is lost. Fall back. Withdraw from that. Alright, fine. Fine. Be that way. Can't take Stettin. Alright, we've taken Stettin. That entire little thing here is encircled as well. I really hate how all of this is going to Poland with their contribution being... What has Poland contributed? I love my Polish friends. I love you guys, but come on. Come on. You contributed exactly 0, so why is the land flipping to you and not to the mighty Czechoslovak Republic currently holding up the Allies with 43% participation? We have fought and bled for this. Hell, you know what? Let's set course to Berlin. Well, that's another 9 divisions gone. We've really thinned out the Germans. As soon as they deal with those beachheads, though, I think we're gonna get hit upside the head. Oh, it's a Polish tank, you say? Polish. Why has that land flipped to Poland? I love how Poland still counts as capitulated despite having recovered all the recoverable land, because the other stuff is occupied by the Soviets. You can't get it back. You can't. It's not even occupied. Currently owned by the Soviets. There's nothing I can do about that. So there is technically never a way to uncap Poland once Danzig, once the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact has happened. It's a bit stupid, you know, just a little. Well, if we're gonna get this over with, let's get this over with. I would like to get, cap Germany and then swing everything into Italy. Should be possible. Like, they're crumbling all over. They can keep the bulk of the German army busy whilst I meander about. We'll have a jolly good time. Let's drive up to Hamburg, cut off that part of the German front, and bada bing, bada boom, as they say. That's another little pocket. Do I just swing for the fences and head straight for Denmark? I mean, it would just get them involved in the peace deal. Why not? Right? Why not? I'm already at war with the Germans. What's another Dane? What could Denmark possibly have? Alright, there you go. The Danes, free guns, woohoo. Alright, quick road trip to Vienna. See if I can get the fronts to separate here. Close to Wels, that should be very helpful. Alright, we got Vienna. That's a major German victory point. Oh, for God's sake, not even halfway. Always a pain in the ass dealing with the Germans. Always a pain in the ass. Oh, hungry, hungry, hungry. Always a paper tiger. Just gonna take them apart as quickly as I can. Just move on with business. Oh, that is another encirclement. I think if I can take Győr and maybe one more victory point, Hungary's dead, and the world will be a better place for it. Oh, yep, there goes Hungary. Almost lost me an encirclement there. Almost cost me a tank there, I should say. But it's all good. It's all good. Nothing happened. Alright, we've cut the Balkan off from the rest. Despite me being out of manpower, I am also out of patience. I just want to get this over with. We throw everything up in the sky, air up, anything I can get that flies is going to commit to this. Alright, just full send it. Full send it. It's over. It's over. We're gonna walk out away having spent 700, make it 1 million by the time we're done with this. Make it 1 million lives spent in defense of the kingdom. Well, there goes Germany. It's just Italy left now. And it's over. We have won our war. How do we play this? What do we get? I'll be nice and just get, like, the stuff that makes for cool borders. Well, we've redrawn the map of Europe in the best way possible. The Czechoslovak Republic has some historically relevant borders. I may not have all of the crown lands of the Crown of Habsburg, but I got some of them. You know, Silesia, you know, part of that as well. You know, Krakow, you know, that's mine by right, obviously. Czechoslovak Italy, obviously, and because this is Hearts of Iron, there's also a French occupation zone of Rome. Venice, you know what? We're not going to question it. I've got a nice looking Bulgarian puppet as well, and an Albania. Funny thing is, Bulgaria made out like a bandit in this peace deal. For being on the losing side, they have substantially enlarged their country. They're the only ones who got to keep their gains. Anyway, we have achieved victory for the Czechoslovak Republic, in part due to the preparation done by beloved Mordred Viking. Had to pivot strategies though. Entrenchment, not not worthwhile. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little somewhat different disaster save. If you want to see more of these, let me know down in the comments. And if you want to get yourself on some nice bolt action miniatures or some Conflict 47 miniatures, go check out supplydrop.be, my website. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.